I believe the thing we most desire as humans, as mortals, is a genuine connection to somebody, possibly a stranger, possibly a loved one, a family member. These sort of one-on-one conversations, what transcend life and reality. And when we have these conversations, we feel the environments and our surroundings slipping through our fingers. We feel unique, we feel special, we feel at that very moment in time we are caught in a bubble. We feel like nothing else exists apart from this conversation and this moment with this person. We've perhaps spent, we've gone out with this person, we've gone out for coffee, we've gone out to do an activity, go-karting, bowling, whatever, some fun activity. Perhaps you go out with a group and the group have sort of faded away and they've gone home on, they've driven home, they've taken a train. You stay behind with somebody and you're gonna go get a drink with this person, and you've gone past the small talk, and then you really start digging inside of yourself and giving somebody your soul and giving somebody your life and your passions and your dreams and your ambitions, and they listen, and they don't treat you as an enemy, they treat you as a friend, they offer you advice. They want, in that moment, they want you to conquer these ambitions. They want, life feels endless. The bar doesn't feel like it exists around you. It's just you and this person and the bartender. And then there's always that sad moment where the night ends and then you have to go back to reality, and perhaps you never are able to recreate that conversation with that friend ever again. Perhaps it was a one-time thing. When I was younger, it felt like these conversations were common. I was part of the generation what mobile phones still weren't in. It was still very much VHS players. It was still very much, you came home with cuts and bruises. You would set up dirt ramps to jump on your bike in the woods. Video games were something you played when you came back at night. There was no such thing as, we couldn't play music. We had to take a portable CD player out. There was so much, technology hadn't taken over, so there was so much more freedom. And within that, we would stay out till the sun was coming down, and I'd always stay behind. There was always some kid who'd stay behind. It changed daily in the summer what kid this was, and we'd just get into this deep conversation, and we'd talk about each other's family lives, and we'd talk about who we fancy, we'd talk about school, we'd talk about fights, we'd talk about video games, but we'd go in depth, and there would be this sense of passion what you couldn't get maybe in a group mentality. And it was always with a friend who you didn't really think, it was always with somebody in the village who you never really thought you would get on with, and then you're sort of left alone. You're able to work out from a very young age that a stranger and somebody you thought you may never like is perhaps somebody who is an ally and somebody who's very, very close to you indeed. And as we get older, these special moments, in my opinion, they become less and less, and they become a lot harder to recreate, because I genuinely believe these moments, you can't create them. And when I've done some traveling, I have met there's this one travel I did when I went to Morocco, and I met the most unique bunch of people you could ever imagine. There was somebody from every nationality, and everyone was unique, and everybody kind of had some stereotypes, but everybody also was kind of shedding the stereotypes. And we went out into the desert, and it was just a real amazing time. We were drinking, we're under the stars, and we're playing some drums, and we're having conversations on religion, each other's faith, and more people disappear into tents, and then there's just four of us left, and we're whispering because people are sleeping. And when we go to sleep, when the four of us go to sleep, when we wake up and we see each other the next morning, there was that look in each other's eyes that we've shared this moment, a moment that none of us will ever possibly get back again. And we watched the sun rise, and then it was over, and you say you'll keep in contact with these people, but you never do, and then you move on, and it's quite heartbreaking that we meet people in life. We meet these amazing strangers. I've always said strangers can be better than friends for various reasons, and they fill our life with all these hopes and dreams, and because we go on a search for connection. We're all walking around with connection, and when we meet somebody, we're not expecting it, so it feels more special. When we come across somebody who we feel like we can connect to, it feels more special, and we feel in this bubble, and it breaks the reality. It destroys our normal 9 to 5 life. And I always pride myself on being that kid who had those deep conversations, and I was always somebody you could be up with till 4 in the morning. I was always somebody who, if you're going through something, let's just talk about it. And I miss those conversations, because they exist now in my life, but they're more measured, and when you're interacting with adults, there's more, you have to be a little bit more sensible. And you also, as you get older, you have to realize you also have to be on your guard a little bit more, because people will come for you. That's just the truth. So it's a lot harder to get those genuine moments. And I feel a lot of people, and I am also included in this conversation, we become obsessed with trying to find realness and real people. But most of us don't really like honesty. We don't actually like real people. Real people, and I used to seek real people when I was younger. The town I grew up in was quite harsh, and I would deliberately leave my gated community to then go find real people on the street what were challenged and had problems, and I enjoyed it at that age. But then there's a point where you get older where you don't want to take some high ground of these people, but you have to move on with your life. You have to look for something else, and you don't want to just be with these people, because there isn't any common ground. And whatever it is you choose to do in life, and if you are somebody who is a bit of a risk taker, if you are somebody who wants to progress, you're gonna have to come to that crossroads with somebody, because you can't take people with you. Say if right now you want to travel to a country and you want to try and get your friends involved, 9 times out of 10 they're not going to do it, or 9 times out of 10 they'll do it, but they want to wait for the right time, and that time may never come, and you're going to be left not getting to go to the place you wanted to go to. So you have to sort of be a little bit selfish, and that's when you start to split. And you also, as you get older, you shape your being more, and you just can't be around those people anymore. The people what you once found interesting. I was somebody who attracted people who, and I still do to this day, attract these people what society is either thrown out, or society would say these people are problematic. And if I'm in a room, I'm always drawing the outsider. I'm always in the corner, and the outsider always sees me, and they always come across, and we always have this great conversation. But then there comes a time where there's a reality what kicks in, where they realize that I'm not like them, and they're not like me, and this realness we're searching for doesn't quite exist. And I think the problem is we're all trying to find this realness in people through the internet, through dating, through, we give our friends another chance. Perhaps the next night I'll get to have this one-on-one moment with this person. And I don't necessarily think, for the most part, it is this realness most of us actually want, because there's the honesty. A lot of us, we can't deal with the honesty. The honesty is too much. So when I think about life, I see it as a bunch of connections and tragedies where I'm gonna meet some beautiful people, and then they're gonna go. I'm never gonna see them again, and they're just gonna be in my memory. And as I've grown older, I've become okay with that. I don't need to obsess over having people in my life. I don't need to obsess over friendships. Yeah, and that's where I've come now, where I leave myself open to meet amazing people, but I ready myself for the departure. I also prepare myself for the next person, because we are all connected. Strangers of a certain ilk will connect easy with certain strangers. The reason why you connect with somebody is because you're on the same path together, and you'll meet some people who will be with you forever. You'll have that friend who'll be with you forever. You'll have your partner who'll be with you forever. Maybe some family members, but majority of people, there comes a crossroads where you're just passing ships. And I think we have to be okay with that. Okay, guys, it's pretty chilly today. My hands are a little cold, but as usual, it's nice to be out. Alright, guys, ciao.